There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your ever. Never, ever. Never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic source. It's bloated and shameful, a ball of meat surrounding you. This is a terrible line of
ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense your
fear and apprehension? You should ask what's out there first.
There's this giant ball there. An evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's infinitesimally small. You can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large. Vying for resources is just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face. Oh, yes, it is. And you lost.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare cup. It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The number... The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The morning light hurts your eyes. It's hazy, but you see the ocean and some war-torn buildings. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist, like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is missing its frame. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you can still find the other on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room. A cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold. This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain. This is bad. Feels like sharp stones grinding in your chest for quite a long time, still ongoing. Finally, the pressure recedes. You find yourself covered in cold sweat and trying not to move, hoping it will keep you from a terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. It's just a little hangover-induced photosensitivity. Don't overreact. Little black spots dance on your retinas. It's almost pleasurable. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach abort, you clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? There might have been, 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now. There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. Go ahead, just as long as you don't.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time. You've been here for 3 days. On official... Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
Try the expression. Come on, why are you still doing this?
Alcohol raises testosterone levels, especially in men. The levels remain elevated after inebriation ends and the pain begins.
She puts out her cigarette. She looks back at you.
And now, goodbye.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke. The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door is closed. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it through a PA system, by other people, whether they like it or not. Ram it up their ears, says your adrenaline gland. Violently express yourself. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry. No, don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. You have not yet stumbled on the right. No, you have to find something tragic to sing first. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed... That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coast. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to... Something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on...
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop. Am I? Or did you ride in, take the body down, solve the murder, and not trash my hostel room? No, you see, actually, you didn't. You haven't done anything even remotely useful since you got here. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here. No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager. That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter. I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know...
There's something there, and it's not good. That's all you know for now. A competent looks like something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is... Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. The man does not mind.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This...
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. You. As you approach, he narrows his eye. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to say...
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Prison 57.
You realize he's waiting. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Right. And the interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice. Okay, we'll have time for that. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? So, the body is...
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But
a painkiller would be good about now. This thing is the best cure for a headache is, of course, morphine. They won't have that, so cigarettes will have to do.
I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the city. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside. I'm not from the Inspectorate General Internal Affairs, and I'm not them. I'm from Criminal Investigation. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pat. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body after you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body. It was you who...
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the...
But you still know your way around, yes?
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here, and I'm not going...
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, he means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? Behind this building, there's a courtyard. They hoisted him up on a tree there. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see a big hole in the fence. A really big one. You can get to the courtyard through there.
Does he want you to feel guilty of making that hole? It's implied in his voice.
She went away because none of your business. Oh my God, what is your obsession with this Sylvie?
Maybe it's he who's obsessed with this Sylvie person. Certainly sounds like it.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real. Oh, you don't owe me shit. Well, officer, you're right. You don't.
We do not need to assert ourselves here. We only need instructions from him. This is the proprietor, remember?
You know, I get this all the time. Some hobo comes in here or some backpacking arsehole off the boat. The next day, when they can't make their fees, they get aggressive. Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilate. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually, more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60. What are you, brain damaged? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room or 8 bottles of potent blend and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 100...
The cafeteria manager stands silently, looking at the coppers on the counter. For a moment, his antipathy is overcome by compassion for the sheer smallness of the money. He demonstratively suppresses a world-weary sigh.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he doesn't. If he doesn't have the money by tonight...
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away.
You mean somewhere else to run up a huge debt? I don't think so. The union squeezed most places out of business to fund the strike. You're better off.
Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them, ask for...
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address is coming up blank, and this place sure isn't it. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller said there was a dead body behind the Whirling in Rags hostel cafeteria. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines. I was told we should approach the death as part of this dispute. A security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out. They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's aide. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that. That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city. That's right. I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an...
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it. That's good. That's good. Better still than an imbecile cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim. Later. Was there anything else you wanted to know about the case? Good. Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. Ah, if you insist. What do you want to know? That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting... It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity, and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting. You're barking at the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
That's correct.
That makes him a Beano-clad, completely uncopped material, if you say so yourself.
Are they? They are mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
No.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
Something the matter?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's at nothing. You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control.
What do you mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. I can't say that it does, no.
The lieutenant produces his small, that's where his conversations with it. You're super lucid, yet psychedelic. You don't need office supplies to connect to your nervous system. You're special.
Good. Let's change the subject.
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Not a fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy. Focus on other people.
The heart beats twice like a fist. The serotonin deficiency makes your teeth clench. The lieutenant glances at his electronic wristwatch. The moment passes.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
What was with that fuck? Seemed neurological. Central nervous system's really banged up.
I see you are still grieving. Well, I won't. You must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Oh, sweetie, I heard your conversation with the manager about you.
If she could, this woman would feed and clothe. You've got guns of steel and a chiseled jaw somewhere under the bloated alcohol layer. Maybe she'd like to sponsor you. Your deportment remains dignified as you shed a single manly tear.
Sweetie, I only have a few cents on me, but I could give you this to pawn. Just to tide you over.
Wonderful. He has a pin.
The pin is round and slightly tarnished. 3 sailboats in bas-relief with the sun hovering over the water behind them. A chipped green banner.
It's easy. You bring a valuable item to a pawnbroker, who then gives you money for it. You can get it back later for a slightly larger sum if it hasn't been sold. Cross the plaza and follow the road along the coast. Down by the water, there'll be a shack nestled against an old stone facade.
Items that can be pawned at Bird's Nest Roy's appear in your inventory under the Items tab. You can pawn these items when talking to Roy.
You're quite welcome, dear. I hope you were able to pawn that old trinket. Of course, dear. I just wish Yes, officer. You look rather dazed.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Oh, my. You know where we are, right? It does still look like that in some parts of the city. We are in a hostel called the Whirling in Rags, dear, and the Whirling itself is in the city of Revachol. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most... I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Actually, we are not. You could say that about almost any other nation.
Damn it. I was really hoping it would be a cop world. Okay, well, let's see.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat. Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense, but we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it. It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things?
Someone more educated in sweeping matters.
No. I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a...
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez. Of course, Dee.
All around you, rain falls on the great city. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here, that's all. Of course. What can I help you with? Me? I am just a gardener. I am pleased to meet you too, officer. Of course. Where to? Oh, that.
She's relieved someone has come for it, finally.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements, not the harbor gates. Some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Just coast. There's a little...
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on newspapers. Water, water everywhere, pouring from the heavens in the shadow of the old church.
I don't know. The abandoned kind? It used to gather every spring, but there's nothing to do there now. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. What do you mean? We're in Martinez, sir. This intersection is called Roundabout North. No problem. Excuse me?
She's uncomfortable. Maybe you should drop this line of questioning.
Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here. Okay. Of course.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead body to deal with after all.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork vapor emanates. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow. As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can...
This is the Kupris Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if...
Motor carriage, motor carriage. Something bad with a motor carriage. A dark lump rises in your throat. In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel like you're useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, it's robust, weatherproof, and lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox, so the frequency tableau lights up, and the soft purr of electrical kittens.
This is Precinct 57.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5, this is...
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest.
10-4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. State your message, sir. Over. 10-9, repeat message, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious...
10-22, the captain. This sounds bad.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs...
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional... Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ten-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit.
Fuck me! Mac, come here! You've got to hear...
What's going on?
Super Cop here,
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for captains.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his...
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where... Okay, it's gone. Your gun is...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over. 10-1, you're breaking up. 10-9, repeat. 10-9, come in, officer. Come in, officer. 10-9, repeat message, please. Did you misplace your firearm? Over.
He says he... Dear God, he lost his gun. This isn't really a laughing matter.
Mac can face a giant of Coco Nur by himself.
Oh, I can't. Fuck. He lost...
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson.
Now is a good time to say fuck and ass and so on. That'll make this all right.
He acknowledges your joke.
Lay off. Lay off. Tell him we'll lay off.
Satellite officer. 10-4, affirmative. Officer is in pursuit of his firearm.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have the...
What does he want now?
He's asking for my...
Is he fucking...
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole anything. He's just gonna drink it all.
Right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important.
He isn't getting a rep.
Request denied, sir.
Nothing is working.
Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth. A small crowd. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his badge and his height.
Mac, The torso Torsen is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently...
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright.
Yeah, Mac's right. This was some gnarly shit there. I mean...
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking sad. That's what it is. He's a cop. He's one of us, goddamn this.
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here. We all got our lives.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Received.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little...
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line. Yes, hello? Oh, right. Hello, officer.
You can hear resentment in her tone. She's not thrilled to be talking to you again. There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom.
You think you hear a sliver of accusation in her word. Don't be paranoid. She's obviously talking about someone else.
I really don't want to talk about this. Let's just forget about it. Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Garbage.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto police, but...
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
I didn't...
Push her further. No, don't push her. It sounds as if she's about to cry.
The other people who live around here.
Her voice is resigned and weak.
You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned... Please, I just didn't want any trouble. I didn't know I had to report it.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god. You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end of the line until she almost drowns in...
No. I honestly...
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay. Yes, I know who you are.
Yeah, I think she got it. Good job.
Oh.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? Right. It's better to not ask too many questions, lest people start thinking you're a cop.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and...
Sounds like it's going to be bad. Do you really want to know?
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes.
Some poor sod was trying to eat his pudding while you were screaming, spit flying, imitating the mercy shot right next to him. People tried to back away from you, or even slip out of the door. But you screamed, "I am the goddamned law, and you have to listen to me. You are..."
No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, big bucks cannot lie, and guns can't buy money, but money... It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. No, absolutely not.
Ouch. That's like 20 points of...
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Yes, you have obviously done something to upset her at the whirling in rags, when she was still...
I'm not mad, it's just... You were so drunk and so emotional all the time, and then the skua thing happened. It just made me want to quit. The stuffed bird, the great skua. You threw it against the wall while screaming, "Fuck that bird," and I think you said it had been giving you shit ever since you got there. Didn't seem like you had fun doing it, though. Yes, obviously. You were the worst client I've ever seen. And I've had sailors fighting, union guys grabbing my ass, kids stealing booze. Once a guy was glued to the karaoke machine every night for 2 months. But you... I bet.
You hear a sigh of relief on the other end of the radio. Word.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? 57.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so... Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out... The worn and beaten...
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to...
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even...
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy!
They're perfect for concealing your bloodshot...
No, you are definitely not buying those. No, I can't. We can't walk around with you looking like this.
You see a Samaran street vendor. The name, Sileng.
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool!
From out on the bay, a cool wind gathers. It sweeps into the...
You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Me, It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm very sharp, officer. I'm Serais, from the Sigai province of the Serais Empire.
The apricot suzerainty is what the Sigai archipelago is commonly known as in Revachol. It's a bit of a
No, apricots come from Sigai. My grandma, speaking of, why not support an independent...
Well, if it's for his grandma...
Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speak anything for you.
There are clothes.
Don't be shy. These are...
You see two...
I can see you've a taste for luxury.
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. Silence. No one answers the doorbell.
Kuno's got this.
Oh yeah, Nappa Gumpy, Kuno!
Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong.
Shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid and see what that drugs. The kid's...
Yeah, Kuno, ride the...
Kuno's riding it, see?
The rake, Kuno! You should throw...
The fuck does Kuno know what a rake...
We shouldn't do anything. I don't tempt such... You will see.
The fuck are you?
He's calling us
Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Kuno's Kuno, pig.
Kuno. Primal. Violent.
Shoot that shit at shitload, pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno!
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would...
You have no idea what the usual is. Just...
Kuno's fucking. Kuno uses the fucking for target practice.
End of conversation. Very strong. You should be this stoic.
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when that shit went down. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in Revachol. Kuno wasn't regional. I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis. And you don't need to know. Kuno, just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty...
You're testing Kuno.
Get lost,
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno does...
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not look human. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in, even through...
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted at... There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. This trash container, there's something in there. Not necessarily... The body is downwind from here. Maybe...
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evident. What do you mean, Phil? We could try using a pry bar. The one you took from my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags. He probably has one.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye.
Kuno, the pig's getting... Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno.
She means it.
I'm going away for a long, long time.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
What's this kid shit? Fucking mind...
Get the fuck out of...
I'll die before I squeal, pig. I come from the woods.
Don't be traumatized.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was the case they gave me.
Yes?
gander and a hunter and a gatherer from another planet. Hey there, it's the Jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon... Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and mazout. Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. So tell me, what do you need? Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal...
Time to arrest him.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machine? Neat. For carrying large quantities of...
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he's spent too long in this lorry. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like, a strike...
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Well, not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflect.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get on to the next one.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfit... The bosses, man. Dunno. What you need?
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jam's got me down. The fumes, the chemical rainbow.
Maybe the full-on direct approach wasn't correct. Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eyes.
Don't be a stranger.
Stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III." Not a good track record of mental health in that family. Small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes? No response. Wherever this nothing. No. This one is a monster in disguise.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave. Why? I just told you why.
Bastards! We have a Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Ha! Couldn't handle us. Cause gives the workers strength, gives them power. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work from other people. Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms and workers' rights, while we have the right!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open, and try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer, or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers, not fighters. Why don't you go arrest them instead? I'm sure they've done plenty of...
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home. At least for now. If you...
No! They will give up eventually. Or honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Big mess. caused by union greed. But I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territoria. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago. What's it to you? No, don't think we've met before. I came to help out the people.
The man has turned his attention elsewhere. He shakes his fist slowly.
Scab?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Gotta be bloody stupid or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than Scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time. I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, "Let us cop for less money." Speaking of, what brings the RCM here, to the Wild North? Come to see the strife? Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder. Of course, Policia. It wasn't me. You can rule me out.
Should we? He's nice. I don't like nice.
You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you.
He's a chatty guy. Wants to talk about the strike. Return once you've met the union boss and are on a better footing with the organ.
Sure thing, my friend. I can help you out. Oh, sorry, friend. Didn't mean to throw it like that. It's a thing we harbor folk do. Comes naturally. Right, always glad to help out. We're on the same branch, you and I. Not like these slip.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my motion? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, I'm sandwich. You are not in danger. What is this androgynous display of sex?
You hear your heart pumping, fast and irregular. Your joint...
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself. This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
That is precisely the negligence that has led you to succumb to all. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Alrul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental up.
Show him the hand still got him.
Begging for help. Attempting to pass fear for cooperation. You gave the world eugenics, electricité. You dominated lesser culture. You will be superseded.
It is, baby, yeah.
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
Enough with this begging. You should leave. Bring your troops to the Simonine Islands, and the walls will be lined with bottles of...
This is your chance. He's talking. Rip into him. No, don't rip into anyone. You're sensitive. Remember? Communicate.
Racists are generally... I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permit... Your silence betrays your inferiority. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this.
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Clare is a man of vision and means. Also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Jam. Individualism. You have gotten these ideas from degenerate youth culture, have you not? Offshoots of the Seminese people invented disco while having sex under the... I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the the South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of the... We are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow street... No. I have heard...
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the...
I'm from Couronne. And no, it is not just in Revachol. The city is central to the Simony. You have heard enough about our phylogenetic secrets for today. You have extinction to come to terms with.
I don't think anything about this.
Your pedomorphic friend is right. You should leave here with your tail between your legs. Contemplate.
tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, one...
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with...
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or no, sorry. I'm not like...
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Okay, here. I hope St. Baptiste makes you feel better or something. St. Baptiste, you know. St. Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of St. Baptiste.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a...
What is... If you want to buy one, then...
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles there, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer.
Welcome to Frit.
What's that magazine she's reading?
You mean this? This is Pop Stars. It's got like...
Looks like it also has something called Police de la Mode, featured on page 34. This speaks to you.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. Frit? A 7 to 11 grade. I think they think that the extra T makes it... okay. I'm not really supposed to be chatting to anyone, but... I don't really know anything. I mean, I know it's not really. No. I didn't know him at all. I don't know, really... long?
No need to worry. It's just standard procedure for us to ask around.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this... Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should... But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you be...
Silence. The air between... Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a cute couple.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. 2 months. Apples. Yeah, apples.
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with a coalition in charge and all.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design. So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in the problem? The damn Kips are showing a real good game lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruders species too. They're on the precipice. It's what the Kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons? It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Go right ahead. You may be a cop, but that won't help you.
Lieutenant Kisaragi's stern expression remains unchanged. But you sense not a lot of moral fiber on this one yet, he thinks. What happened? Did your balls shrivel up? You had plenty of chances to get off this road, but no. You let this guy keep talking. Then, when the time came to make your choice, you tried to split the difference. This Post Levantorie mail collection box. The box seems eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and the mailbox does not know how to man up. It is an inanimate object. This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction manuals. Your money disappears into the coins. The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. You're fooling nobody.
Sir, are you okay? You've been Okay, sir. I'll try. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside, minding the register, or organising. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But
Kind of you to offer, sir.
what could you do to help her anyway?
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old. Oh, I think that's why.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to. And it's kind of like you don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. What's that mean? And everything's better now, sir? Why is that? Oh, okay. I shouldn't have said that thing about Dick Mullen. More about books, maybe? It's the type of... Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process, or should actually be rich. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up. Sometimes they break up for a little while. Maybe some about other books.
Life? I'll be with you in a moment, officer.
Have you no shit?
René, you're a man.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the...
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back.
I hope you pass out from it.
Shush. Ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You are letting down yourself. Doesn't matter what team. Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them eyes on the ball, Dinky Winky.
Sure, officer. I am René Arnaud. And unfortunately I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no... In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to... If I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I see...
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. I do. Fire from heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take...
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling. A sign of men...
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but... the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser... Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on this city before they stormed it.
He approves of this radical approach.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think? I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned.
This royal failure weighs heavily.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. Damn Frissel. He was a king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution. The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already?
Soon, they will forget everything.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
This is a wall on the side of
There must be another way into the building.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see the name Dick Mullen over and over.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to... You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all...
Crime fiction is a disgrace. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how... Furthermore, they have no idea how hard... What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of... Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, you see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The stalwart adventures of Richard P. Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Fake tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murder. Come on. This is not the way real police solve crimes.
Come on, Chester. Tell the story again.
Again? Man, I tell that one at least once a month.
The fuck it is. And these guys haven't heard it.
Gosh, why?
A very...
Yeah, sure came close. Alright, so I was tailing this guy called Francis the Shoe.
After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic Hard-Boiled Phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? then this is the book for you. The plaque on the shelf reads, Biographies of...
I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power.
Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst the various books, you find one written by... The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in such... It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have, wholeness, unity, balance, on that when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? Various paranatural books still litter the Several maps have been attacked. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small Ozon, Laurentide, Fas Alamir, archipelagos. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou, radiating outwards from you. The suzerain Revachol, with a radius of 80 kilometers. Still, the crown jewel of this Isola would be... The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the north. Connections to other worlds. Words past the inset. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars. Gods. But looking at them, perhaps they are gods. Gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is to the east, rolling hillsides. Like Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is. North of... No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rainfall. No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have. But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights. The sky. The world. It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. Still, it's detailed.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of... They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never... From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up.
A small mountain of colorful board game books, an endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover. There's a box that says, Wirral, 3rd edition megaset. Nonsense for anemic Beano-clads. The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Oh, Man from Hjelmdal. A very popular series. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, if you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hjelmdalaman. The Man from Hjelmdal. Welcome to... Be welcome, and...
A golden pendant hangs around the woman's neck, in the shape of what looks like a tiny fish head trapped in amber.
Oh yes, Helps to have an anchor in these times. I am the proudest owner.
She has fine-tuned her voice to find the most welcoming approach for attracting new customers. It doesn't work.
Annette, yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post doing her job like a proper girl? Wonderful! Did you talk to her? Great! On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy...
Her opinion of her daughter depends on how well she lured you into the store.
Come now, it's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. I expect an answer. My precious, her dedication brings joy to my heart. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my Annette.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense. Every now and then, she nudges her glove.
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled?
She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved.
Oh yes, how's my precious doing? She's a good...
The woman before you scans the store. You see a set of tattered curtains
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled?
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, you see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't... No! Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through.
Lies. Rip them open. There is something mysterious about the curtains. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens...
I warned you. You're unleashing forces.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds. What if you just break it down? Only echo. No one is there. Ow, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know that things like that hurt?
Are you alright?
What is going on there? Are you... I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. Don't tempt the spirits.
It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, covered in dozens. That's right. Take in your surroundings. You need to have a solid ground and a proper posture. The room is dimly lit and littered with old barbershop. It's made of a solid block of wood, but it has stood there for ages. The hinges are old and coated with a carmine layer of rust. It should be doable.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool? You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at the books. Go, oh yes. How's my precious doing? You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Good sir. What does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her as a fun.
Slap the cuffs on her.
Oh, of course, officer. Good work.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun here. Right.
Mind your own business, sir. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. You must be kidding. Good sir.
Slap the cuffs on her.
Oh, of course.
Yes, we've had quite enough fun.
The woman before you scans the store, her shoulders rigid and tense.
Hello again, sir.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? Oh, excuse me. Do you have something better to do than lust for sweet syrupy rum and lemonade with a twist of lemon?
Can I help you? Mine? No, it...
Thank you for clearing that up.
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out.
I thought as much. And are you...
Well, yes. Us and the...
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. Okay, then.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. Just the nastiest and loudest faction. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly.
He hates the union, but grudgingly recognizes its power over him. So he's directing his frustration at you instead. Retaliate.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need info. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Another thing. Great. Yes?
A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. Occasionally, as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely It must be his name. Garanci. Garanci Quebec. Sounds representative. The man puts his cup down and replies something. His left hand drawing arcs. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent. You immediately feel drawn to the color. Blue is for mystery. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stain...
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Yes. I suppose it's worth seeing if we can get in. Just to be thorough. As a side investigation. Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like awesome, boring storage space with a bunch of old junk.
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. He looks at the dust on his finger and wipes it off.
Yes?
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, "Whirling in rags." With a well-oiled, don't. Maybe you shouldn't. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with a box falls into pieces in your hands. Baptiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages among the threadbare kitchen towels. Something as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he went. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt. The belt is missing. That's it.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib knit.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches you.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
The fuck's he on about, kids?
See?
The lieutenant nods. It's just organic waste. Cold and nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it.
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it, if you don't mind me asking. How did this get in the trash? Understood.
Be untroubled. If anything, this small moment has made him respect you more. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the only in its social sensibility.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the
The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it. You said you didn't want to talk about the ledger. However, now that you have it back,
it's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? It's a metaphor. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clip. Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and an aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paper. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
It depends. Aside from an...
How many years you've been on the force?
Any capable light with the right way. All RCM vehicles have had lights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
Okay.
While a bunch of sodden paper, they're not exactly white. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more: work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate, due to missing. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. I prefer a normal caseload. It's a matter of...
Like a fan of gills, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the mark. Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an unexpected location. You like this grimy murdering, don't you? It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, it's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to again, in your defense, I seem to have named one, the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that. I pray his loved one. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand. Inspect the victim. Interview the cafet. A satisfying slash sounds across the things to be done and things already done. The compass.
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper, some neon yellow. Then rip them from the binder and hand them. 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. A monetary penalization range. These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to a dozen pages of thin copy paper. Bright red in color of the irises, predation marks, condition of sexual. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Finds what delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it. Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not seethed. With your hands, you 4-sized pages hang from the clip, screwed to the top of the board. Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on. You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed. The lieutenant observes you, raising and lowering the toilet water log.
Excuse me, I just have to ask again. How did it get in the trash? Okay, no problem.
He's not mad. That smelly mess of paper in your hand is making him worry about the well-being of his own paperwork. That's all. It's proving to be harder than expected. You just don't have the intellectual rigor to... It's just a racist mug. What's there to read here? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? Understood. You're that kind of detective.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. None of us would tamper with the crime scene. The trash collection service, CS Municipal. I don't see why they...
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to be one of those little threats.
On Clinton Street, near the Boogie Street Diamond, a small truck rattles down an alleyway. It stops by a rusted trash container. Two men, their faces...
Thank you anyway.
I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. Yes? Absolutely out.
You wait and see, Cap. Absolutely in the question. There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The boy...
Activity kit.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out tool.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press...
He's down playing. The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute. The lights unfold with a little click.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol. A rat brazenly darts past you and disappears amongst the stopped lorries. In the distance, a child in the middle of a broken plaza in a cone of light, barely visible in the daytime. Two men...
Ah, Martinez. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and the first row has 18 dots. Not bad for what? You don't even know. The next is the longest. It runs all the way. There are so many. It's the last row. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have...
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You bet.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? Fair point. Let's move on. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable member, right? Those are your confirmed kills.
Confirmed kills? That sounds pretty evil. A drink would soften that feeling.
For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame.
What's it feel like to kill a man, Mr. McCoy? A young woman asked the man across the desk. Honestly, babe, says John McCoy, crossing his ankles over said desk. I don't feel anything anymore. It's just like brushing my teeth.
There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Yes.
It's not a problem for him to state it, however.
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal page, to the right of the task description.
I can't believe it felt like springtime just a few days ago.
Yes?
You see a young man on...
Not looking for any trouble, officer. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie, if that's okay.
It's the god of cigarettes and youth. Ask him if he's got anything to spare.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at...
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. My name? My name...
Martin Martinez. Good local name. Let's go with that.
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of...
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us.
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you? No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
You didn't answer the question.
It was my Sunday friend.
A Sunday friend? Makes sense. Friends are nice on Sunday. You don't have to work. You can just spend time with pals. He doesn't reply. Gesturing no with his cigarette. Someone hides behind a curtain. Those windows have eyes, and those eyes are watching, spying on you three.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
This isn't the place or time for questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains? For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feeling.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards us. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look in. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention. If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of... There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has... We'll just have to go in and see.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old. No, we are not constructors and renovators. And these bullet holes do not warrant an investigation.
The lieutenant... No. This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk drawer.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my...
This woman's health is failing her. There's not much to do. Not in this damp.
Go ahead.
She's the cleaning lady.
I'm no one. If you can call it living, it's barely bigger than a...
And all she gets, too. The coastal wind beats down hard on the coal room door outside. Splashes of waves make the balcony...
Oh, you'll find plenty of Martins here. Don't you worry. Pea-brain. Someone played a trick on you. Martinez is a name.
Oops. You really didn't.
I thought it was obvious. Anyway, officer, we don't have the witness's name.
Yes. I know who you mean. The screw...
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio.
What's he in trouble for? Talk! talk? He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to...
Thank you. We should go check out his...
Ask away, policeman. Oh, that one is a scientist. I think he studies astrology at the community college. Educate. Something to do with all those stars around his door. That's what I said.
The lieutenant shakes his head as though to... Come on, people. Try to keep up any standards here. It's not about stars. It's... Forget it. She mumbles some kind... A shift in temperature. The air chills around you. Dust settles. A former architect stands before a slice of window, a room plan in her hand. A cold wave has made the air in the building stand still and it's clean and empty, with new tapestry embellishing the walls. A standard HB graphite pen. You hear some. The walking stops abruptly, but no one comes. You can feel tension. A poor communard.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant?
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside.
This door has been no reply. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded.
You seem committed to it, so go on.
What are you doing? You're trying to cut the body of the lock with the...
I believe it's the shackle you mean to cut, Detective.
He's just trying to help. Don't take it bad. Relax.
Perhaps you should give it another go.
The shackle...
After you, Detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
He's known as the father of scientific communism, also known as Mazovianism. His theories about economic history greatly influenced, some would even say, the White Star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting.
You hear someone walking up a paw.
Do I have... Did you...
Let's go.
The streets will flow red once more. A great...
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are...
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, and here I was trying to be polite. Just can't win with you.
That smell coming from her paint bucket. It's not paint. It's heavy fuel oil.
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go...
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Can't you tell? I'm painting a beauty... I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. This place is severely lacking in havoc. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Summon the forces of crime and social chaos, yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me.
You've lessened her desire to deface the building. The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricities. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two. The woman on the boat does not note.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch...
Red-dyed heavy fuel oil, intended for exclusive use in government vehicles.
What did you think I was using? Aquarels?
She really did it. She's proud of it, too.
You ain't seen nothing yet, piggy boo. Watch your back.
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Number 28. This is where the...
Let's see if anyone's home.
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is... We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here.
Suddenly, he's a little worried about your memory.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment...
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Remember, tomorrow, He's probably... Just an ordinary war. Nothing. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat.
Good afternoon, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full...
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, and that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration. I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year...
$1 billion?
$20 billion is a large number, but the conglomerate employs 72,000 people. They all need to be paid. A conglomerate the size of the Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It's a tremendous responsibility. They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade, but centuries of care, deliberation and madness have gone into this endeavour. Vessel, you mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? We built this district. All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plaza's Meteor, before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol. A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines...
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. Yes, Jean-Luc Measurehead. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I...
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February.
But the strike began in December.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens, no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say. Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Yes. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator. Mr. Clare has...
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
There are leaflets everywhere, and banned. Every worker, a member of the board.
She nods.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I... He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal... Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that it's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into
a mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid and your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is... Of course, officer. I'm glad you asked. There was a woman...
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore. Or coming to work. Ever. Indeed. The company suspects foul play. But there's nothing they could do. It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around...
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your name.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he...
How curious. Why is that, detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. Oh, dear. I do believe you, naive as that may sound.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is...
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. She's a negotiator. Just float a favor at her.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my...
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge, though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching. I'm sure you will, Detective.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola.
Ingredients for...
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from... Yes. After they clear the terminal, we lose track.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am.
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. Yes.
Wild Pine seems to be...
We're in logistics. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Everard and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link. The lorries. Someone needs to move the ingredients from the harbour into the city. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of... I'll be explicit. If you find this driver, I will share company secrets with you. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses, precisely, smuggled out of that very gate at night most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorryman would confide in.
No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a part. This is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the trade committee, thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour.
Well, At least
What is that, Lieutenant?
why I had to call East Motor Tract and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wonder since
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is... We did. On more than...
we know the company.
Well, here's your chance, officers. Yes? Excellent. According to my reports, there are... It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more... In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance. Of course, Detective.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man? Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me? Then what's your deal here?
So much for subtlety. Better get straight to the...
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the hub.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo. And look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man.
The woman still has...
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you?
The smile on her face has disappeared, replaced by the wary aspect of a cornered beast.
Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. The men have small jaws and everything is made out of plastic. Why do you need plastic when you can make the world up? Back in Methka, during the time of the revolution, until you came along, that is. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide-brim hat. This man's got a hold over her, even 50 years.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines. Someone was. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters.
She seems to derive some bitter pleasure from this strange thought, as if the past will one day wipe the present away, like a tidal.
Why not, Harife? Diamonds. Of course not. But wouldn't it be marvelous if I... Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Oh, it's so much more than a high where I go, Herife.
Yeah, it's definitely some kick. Some terrible kick in the dark. A sleep kick. Perhaps you can find out later.
Of course it does. What did you expect?
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe...
So he doesn't think she's a smuggler.
You hear that, Lowman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best communers around. The Monosov's land.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral. You for 1A. Adestradas do Mirador. All the good ones. The deep trenches. Where the bluebirds fly. Irmao. I already am. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel. The great adversary, not drugs. Yes. There is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side.
I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
If you don't know, you're man, Lowman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza? No, Lowman.
Damn this. Make her answer.
Timos are good for you, Lowman. You should try them sometime. Make yourself pretty like Eva de Zoras. Easy. Is the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here. I would never make fun of...
Ma'am, you're not responsible for what the client puts in your lorry, as long as the seals are not up.
Lay off her.
Where do you want me to go? This isn't so bad. I can listen to music, or I can just relax and let them...
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
Looking for something? Oh man, God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute. You know where that shit comes from? Saramiriza, Safre, Ilmara. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage. Oh, I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze. Not in, not out.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boy... Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty, is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't... Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after he broke the seals on his yacht. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Guess so.
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale, or at my home, or on my person. That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry?
No, I just said I work harder, and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. No! That's insane! It's the fat hater. He's been eyeing me for a week. Nothing. I told you.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd. You know, the drug crowd.
He doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up. It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe.
It could be. She was strange.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? I don't want to talk about that. Man, I was hoping it isn't going to be her. All I can say is, she isn't around here anymore. She isn't some evil drug trafficker. And I don't know where she is. Thank God I don't know. People here call her the Lady Driver. She kept her name a secret. From me, too. A friend? An acquaintance. I don't know. She was the only person in this damn jam I could talk to. A youngish woman. Gruff, but...
What color hair?
Blue and violet. Died. It was violet when she got here.
Then she may have dyed it again.
I didn't, man. I told you I was hoping it's not her.
He still is. Hoping. It's just wishful thinking on his part. Not trickery.
Damn, I don't want to... Please just let it go. Whatever she did, it can't be that bad.
We can't just let it go. It's part of...
That's how it always is with you, isn't it? All part of the investigation.
It won't come to that. We won't pursue her on this. This is information only.
I don't believe you. She's got the darkness in her. That young person's darkness when you...
She shared this with you?
Yes. Which is why I don't want to snitch on her. I heard the rumors. I saw the other drivers looking at me strange when we talked. And she told me, too, that she's had a violent life. But I wasn't afraid of her.
Did this violent life include drug trafficking?
Well, it looks like it did now. But we didn't talk about that. We talked about life, you know? She talked about her mind. Fuck, man. Go grill someone else with these questions, okay? There are plenty of drivers here who couldn't stand her, or were afraid of her.
He's right. There are other options. Push Tommy and it will break his heart and his spirit. Don't expect. Now is not the time to focus on feelings. You need that info, son.
Thank you, friend. Wow, this makes me feel like I should pick up...
Looking for something? I don't know what you're talking about. Listen up, fuckwits. You don't scare me. You cops don't run Revachol West. You don't run Martinez. You don't run anything.
No. He means La Puta Madre.
The name resounds like a bell in the air. A dark... Looks like the lieutenant has a plan. Let him do this.
Yeah, him.
Then I presume you are familiar with his peonies.
Yeah, they're his little bitches. He's got them all over the unions.
Not just the unions. He has peonies everywhere. Some say he even has them in the RCM. Dirty fuck.
You're not peonies. You wouldn't be investigating a drug thing if you were.
No, of course not. We are not peonies. But if we were, and one of Madre's drivers, it's not a hard job. It won't take a long time. It won't make Padre Madre angry. But a stupid fucking risk is distant.
I'm not scared of you or the mob. I'm under the protection of the Lorrymen and Carters Guild.
You've seen the corpse in the yard, yes? You took a peek. I know you did. Does it look like his friends protected him?
Nah, you wouldn't just leave him out there if you...
The lieutenant turns and gives you... I softened him up as best I could. Now it's on you to finish the job. The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your resume?
What? What do you think we're doing right now, Runt? We're outside, talking. There's some kind of homo thing? Make me, Runt.
Let's just go and ask Tommy, alright? We are wasting our time here.
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. Thank you, friend.
The woman is still...
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Did you just call me a lady?
She clearly doesn't think she's a lady. Don't repeat it.
I'm not that either, Harife. I've gone too far from it all to remember. I'm only terrifying to small children and to those who used to know me. How should I know? Do I look like I spent a lot of time with the other communers because they can no longer recognize the person I once was? The big ones, the trucks. There's no women. In the middle of this town, there's a ghostly
You feel very cold suddenly, as if standing face to face with a terrifying adversary. Then the feeling dissipates.
Oh, Sim.
Something in her is pulling towards some unknown rest state. She twitches, like a sleep kick.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero, it's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with a daring Boyadero. He promises to marry... Don't be stupid. The Boyadero returns from the western plain a changed man, one night. As he and his beloved are out walking along the river Margaret, she pleads with him to give up his riding and settle down. No. The Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Margaret. The most beautiful. A true Boyadero needs a whole...
What if to truly love a boyadero is to float lifeless downstream?
Hello again, my man. What's on your mind? What? But I told you she's my friend. Please don't make me give her up, detective. Get someone else. There's a ton of... You're not gonna put a bullet in your head if you blow it, are you? Because she's on the edge, man.
I wouldn't be so sure, Tommy. Imagine it. An explosion of stars. Goodbye, world of men.
I thought you were a different kind of cop.
The realization that you've used his friendliness and goodwill. Remember, you're doing it for the bigger investigation. This is important. Relax.
Here. Valori's still here. Down past the statue of Philippe. The cabin is green. You can get in there with these. That's all I know.
When did she leave?
Last Friday. She left them to me because she trusted me.
The other drivers would have to tow it or break in to get the machines moving.
If they break in, they would find what's hidden inside. Something incriminating.
I bet you are.
And he's sorry he couldn't be what he wants to be. A good person. His last line, his revenge on the world.
No, I don't know.
Thank you for your cooperation, sir.
You don't really think so?
I really do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be...
This screen found...
This is the one our man pointed to.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered. It feels like you're peeking into someone's home residence. Inside it's private, cozy, warm. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny. You push the key into the lock. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile. These are movie posters featuring starlets. One of them particularly catches your eye. A center. The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of a feeling of tenderness washes over you. A longing. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly. The actress, a feeling of... Wait, the actresses and the rare actor all smile you a warm goodbye. Looks like the frequency dial is absent.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least. For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of it... doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without it.
The smell of 1,000... You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique?
The movie stars are still smiling from the walls. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for it's an issue of Périphérique from last week. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex. These formulas look oddly painful.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. You close the rusty old...
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce? All right, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep. Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence... I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better...
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
As elegant as they are, I don't think...
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Yes, well...
Unimportant.
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Everard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening, right? My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down. We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation, sometime later when we are done here. We do not want to get caught in that. The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either. Debrief over. After you.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Yes, my eyes on the harbour have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered? Yes. And...
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidence.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn. I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this...
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst.
Then we're on the same page. I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it... They were dispatched after I relayed the union's initial offer.
Every worker...
A member of the board. I tried to convince my employer it was simply a piece of rhetoric, or a joke. They did not appreciate the... Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrender.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenel, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not... They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched. Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenel It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this
What is the nature of this so-called...
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
It's not good. No. My only hope is that you provide a single concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put, if you don't pin this on someone good, and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle, as I said, a bloodbath. Many bleak scenarios have already come true. Nameless, badgeless detective. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military...
Down a deep, black...
They boast a long list of clients. Saint-Baptiste,
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
yes. All the good conflict corridors. Supramundi, Yesut, Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in... If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the art?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have. And they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us. Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot tell the remaining contractors, their tribunal, that the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Mark.
The lieutenant consults his notebook, his eyebrows knitted in concentration.
Odd. We haven't heard any reports about an assault in connection with the lynching. Where did it take place? And when?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, that's a good question, officer. I don't have the slightest idea. As I said, it's a rumor about...
You meet her soon enough, you feel.
If you mean did I see him alive? Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there are... One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well.
What would you say was his eye color? The deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face.
I can't remember.
That's all right, then. Anything else? National...
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury.
What else? Nationality?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed act. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it. Through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol...
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
One is obviously the scab leader at the harbour gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any...
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a short wave at the ship's wheel. That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a border keg.
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
I hope I can answer it better. Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the...
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal and...
5 days, not more. Maybe sooner.
It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with...
Shame on you!
Hell no. I'm just an honest scab. I won't have to...
His neck muscles tense up. The veins on his neck bulge.
Fucking bug. How about you fuck off now, huh?
Okay, of course.
There could be weapons aiming at us right now. Somewhere above, in the buildings. The other merc. Don't push this. The man's breathing steadies, but his eyes are still narrow. Slowly, he's trying to get his right to work done. With a matrix of an off-key melody starts playing up.
Kudos! Please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games. Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were... But the doorbell is broken and the book...
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Evening, officers.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a His posture is relaxed. Despite his powerful build and a knife in his hand, this man resorts to...
My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping...
From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt.
Very good stuff. And I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that.
The words, "Dear Devil."
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here. Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish... Yeah, not really much else. Sure thing. Want some too?
Why not? A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires dangle from the net. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a... You pull the lever all the way up until the metal clicks and nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind blowing in. Nothing happened. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the waterlock to get across the canal. So isn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday?